Welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the potential fight between Israel Adesanya and Yoel Romero. So this fight is looking like it will likely happen. Is Paulo Costa got injured, and they do have Jared Cannonier right there, but I guess they feel that Yoel Romero is a bigger draw and he's talking more and selling it more, whereas Cannonier is just being respectful and that stuff. And so it's not really drawing a lot of attention to himself. So the Yoel Romero is a fight they want to see, mainly because Yoel Romero is this boogeyman in the division, even though he's kind of 3-4 right now. And they see him as a wrestler and Adesanya as a striker, so they feel like that's a good angle or something that could be a threat to Israel Adesanya. So that's why this fight is likely going to happen. So let's get into predictions. So we got Yoel Romero, silver medalist, Olympic wrestler, and really he's scarier than a lot of gold medalist wrestlers throughout history. We're gonna be honest, because he went against some of the best wrestlers of all time, like Cael Sanderson and that other guy and this other guy. But he was probably really scary than probably 80% of gold medalists. So that's still, even though a silver medal is not nothing to scoff at, he's really scarier than most gold medalists in wrestling. So, but he is 42, 43. But even still, at 43, he's scarier than most people in general anyway. So just say that right there. But let's look at the styles. So I feel like with this fight, I think since Israel Adesanya came into the UFC, it's been a fight I kind of been looking at between the two is like measuring to the two against one another. Maybe not since his first fight, but since he started to really put his eyes on the title and people started talking about him potentially fighting for the title, maybe like 2-3 fights into the UFC. I think some people say, "Oh, Yoel Romero or Jacare would destroy him" and stuff. So that's when I really started to say, "Oh," and start measuring them up. And I feel like it's kind of one of those things where when they came into like I guess newer or younger fighter come to the game or come to the UFC or if anything, come to the sport, some sport like basketball, any type of thing like this, a newer guy comes in. And when he first comes in, these guys probably can be kryptonite for him, but it's a fight. It's like the years go on, they develop more and more. They start to get better and start to get more into their prime. And then these other fights, like when may have the up on them when they come in, but as they stay in over time, they start to diminish, and those fighters start to sharpen up. So basically, I'm saying Adesanya is only getting better, whereas I think Yoel Romero is almost at a point where you're gonna start to see him diminish. I don't think he necessarily diminished just yet, but I do think he took a style of a more older fighter in these recent couple fights. Like you look at the last Whitaker fight, he was actively trying to manage his cardio and his output. He was defending a lot, and then he just saved his energy for the last 3 rounds. And he could have won that fight, but it's still also that style could have cost him the fight. Might have been the reason why he lost the fight, because he gave up the first 3 rounds basically, and then came on hard in the 4th, 5th round. If he would have got the finish, it would have been an amazing thing. But because he didn't get the finish, and then he didn't make weight, he ended up losing that fight and not getting the belt. Or you look at the Paulo Costa fight, where he let Paulo Costa go to his body and put him against the cage and attack him. He was defending decently, but you're not really putting much output, you're going to lose because you're just on the cage defending and not really doing us out back. He did throw a couple shots back, but it's not like he finished Paulo Costa. But I think he still could have potentially won that fight. I think the first round he definitely gave it up. But the second round, I think he might have slipped it in because he did at least a little bit back. But he still gave Paulo Costa too many attempts. All that shots on against the cage look very. MMA judges don't judge like boxing judges. So if you're on the cage, even though you're defending well, you get hit with those big shots. They looking at it, you're losing. I think he really defended well against most of the shots. Didn't really take nothing too clean against the cage in that second round, but it might have been still. But to the judges in MMA, they're gonna say you lost that round. The third round, I think because they would slip, it was kind of similar, but then he got a takedown. It was close on strikes, and he got a takedown. But yeah, this is not about his past fights. But I'm saying his current style is a style where he a lower output, like he's actively managing his output and stuff, and he's able to take some shots, then roll with some shots and counter back. But I think that new style doesn't really work the best against Israel Adesanya. And people talking about wrestling the silver medal this, silver medal that, and all that stuff. But has Yoel Romero ever been a take you down and lay on you type of fighter? He might have did it 1 or 2, 3 fights, but it's not really been style to be a take you down, lay on you. I think he's a freestyle fighter, not a folk style wrestler. I mean, a freestyle wrestler, not a folk style wrestler. Folk style wrestlers are more trained to take you down, control you, ride time, all that stuff. Whereas freestyle fighters are more so. I'll say freestyle fighter. Freestyle wrestlers are more about defend the takedown, get the takedown. It's more like a points game, not more of a time game. They do have some that will do ride time. Most of them just more so about this, fighting for those points, getting takedowns and stuff, pushing you out of bounds, stuff like that. Not really about all the ride time, stuff like that. So that's their control on the ground not as good as a folk style wrestler. But that's another point. But at this point in his career, I don't think or ever was Yoel Romero really this guy that was a take you down, control you. And I think at this point in his career, he doesn't really do it that often. So I feel like if his style was to beat Israel Adesanya, he would have to, what's it called? Be one of those wrestlers that's going to be on the fighter the whole time. Like a, kind of an old school Randy Couture style, or maybe like, I don't know, any type of, well, maybe Khabib, you could say anybody that's going to, or Usman, anybody that's going to be on you the whole time with their wrestling. If he's not going to be on the whole time, then that wrestling a lot of times will be neutralized. And another thing about Yoel Romero with his style is that he's more of like a, one of those instinctive fighters. He's very explosive and all that stuff. But I feel like Adesanya, outside of explosion speed, I think Adesanya's striking is fast. I mean, he's a faster striker, the faster fighter. He has the range. He's 6'4". He has like a good bit of reach over him. I think he could, and one thing that Adesanya has is real good at that. Yoel Romero really hasn't dealt with is a fighter that has really phenomenal feints. And those fighters that have good feints can draw those reactive, explosive fighters off their, what's called off the little speed board. Like when you got a sprinter, get a sprinter to misstep and pretty much fire before they want to fire. And that's mainly what that explosive, like that little feints for, to get those fighters like Yoel Romero to react. And with that range that Adesanya has, he can get Yoel Romero to react. He's already taller than him, faster than him, and he can use that range very well. He's tall, and he knows how to use that range, and he fights at the end of his punches. So he's already going to be like a mile away, and he's going to get Yoel Romero to react and, misfire. So that's going to put him in a bad position to get countered, and that's what what Adesanya does. And like I said, Yoel Romero, his wrestling is phenomenal, but he's not going to be constantly putting that wrestling on you. So that's why I feel like his style at this point is not even a kryptonite for Adesanya. It's the other way around. I think Adesanya's takedown offense is underrated. His grappling is underrated. And even Yoel Romero does carry some takedowns. We have seen Adesanya get back to his feet. I don't think Yoel Romero has the cardio at this point in his career to, maintain a pace. If he has it, he might have some success for a limited amount of time. But I think all that's going to happen is Adesanya's eventually going to get back to his feet. It's going to be a 5-round fight. And then he's going to have plenty of time to pick apart Yoel Romero, who's going to be, tired. Matter of fact, even before these past years, Romero always has these points in these fights. If they go long, maybe past the finish, he typically, I think, really, a lot of these fights that Yoel Romero look tired and gassed in these fights, kind of breathing heavy, hands low, and, just trying to recover, trying to bounce, and then, just scaring people with his explosive ability, but he really be tired and just trying to, get that last shot or just trying to make it through the round or get his energy back. And it's Adesanya, like I said, he's a world-class striker. You never really see Adesanya out there tired. He might be tired, but he's never going to show it. He's going to keep his technique clean, and he's going to be putting the volume on. Romero. If Romero want to do this shell type of style, he's not like a Whitaker who just got these very limited strikes. Adesanya got a whole book of shots, and he's got a good inside game, good elbows, good knees. He's long. Good jab. He could just be splitting Romero's guard, and that's going to just set Romero up to get hit with even more shots. So I think I'm just come to the conclusion on this one. I just feel like I said, Yoel Romero doesn't wrestle enough to, I think, to be truly that threat to Adesanya. His pace is not that high. He's not that consistent with it. He's going to give him a lot of age. Adesanya is a very good striker. He's going to fight the end of his strikes. He has good feints that's going to get Romero to react. And off those reactions, he's going to get counter Romero, a lot in this fight and pick him apart. And if shots do land, takedowns do land, I don't think Romero's going to have that much success with them or over that long amount of time to really, be effective in the fight. If he does need to win, he's going to need to be consistent and be a pressure fighter, pretty much being Israel Adesanya's grill. He can't just be out there on the outside trying to, because really a lot of times he get these counters, he counter off people's mistakes. That's what Romero did. Like when he explodes, he finds people's mistakes. Like he get them to react to him, and then he counters. But Adesanya's not gonna be reacting to what Romero does too much in this fight. So I really gotta say it's the other way. It's a kryptonite for Adesanya is a kryptonite for Romero, and I think he gets him off his get him to react to his feints and picks him apart a lot in this fight. I just think he just wears him down, starts chewing him apart, and just really outclass him in this fight. And I think he puts him away in the third. So in this fight, I got Israel Adesanya via 3rd round TKO. And that concludes my fight predictions for Israel Adesanya versus Yoel Romero. And as always, thanks for watching.